This was a big week for my budget. I need to close August out and input the first transactions for September. I've also got a big update on how I am using and saving cash. Are you ready? Let's go! Welcome back to Ready Budget Go. My name is Drew, and around here we talk about household budgeting, saving money, and achieving our financial goals. So if any of those are an interest of yours, please consider subscribing, hit the like button, and leave me a comment down below because I would love to hear from you. Let's start with a cash dump, as we usually do. And I've got all of my cash pouches here in front of me. So let's start with the fives, which are going to be in this envelope, or this pouch rather. I took $400 or $500 out of the bank at the start of September and allocated $100 in fives each week. And I still have most of it left because my life changed. So let's count these up. We've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, $5 for fives. And then in ones, I have quite a few of those as well. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 14 in ones plus 55 in fives is $69. And I will put those in here, but first let me just do the change because I've got probably a little over $2 in change, I'm guessing. Had a lot of quarters this week. So yeah, there's maybe $2.50 here. Maybe not that much, I don't know, something like that. So I will get out the big bag of coins here. It's just getting real heavy. And put these in here. I do need to take these to Coinstar. I keep saying that I will, and then I don't. So maybe this weekend will be that time. Okay, there's those put away. So now I'm going to add, let's see, let me zip this up because we're done with this for the week. So now I'm going to add these into the pile that I've already been accumulating throughout the month of August. And this pile is getting to be obscene. So this was the pile before this week. And all of this was intended to go into the Letterbucks challenge. So all of these are fives. I'm adding even more fives. I mean, I've probably got over $300 here. And that is far more than I ever intended to stockpile into the Letterbucks challenge when I started it. When I started the Letterbucks challenge at the start of this year, I was saving maybe $20, maybe $30 a month, and it was all in $1 bills. And some months I didn't even have that much, but that was manageable for Letterbucks. This is way more than that challenge was intended to hold. So I will talk about what I'm going to do both with Letterbucks and going forward in the video that's coming out on Saturday, so stay tuned for that. But for now, all of this is going into the bank bag for that Letterbucks video, which again will be coming out on Saturday. Okay, so that's it for the cash dump. Let me put all of these away. And I will get out the binder and we'll talk about how I did in August because we need to close out that month. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this out because I have a lot of work to do on this sheet. So for those of you who are new or who may not remember, my budget weeks run from Friday through Thursday, but I also budget monthly for monthly expenses, rent, utilities, things like that. So that causes some overruns, and this is one of those months where August was a 5-week month because of how the Fridays fell, but I also pulled in several days from September, in fact 4 days from September into the August budget. So August is going to be complete now, so let's get to totaling up these so I can input the final totals. Just scoot everything over a little bit and get out a pen here. Let's find one suitable. There we go. Okay. So these are the final numbers, and I'm just going to total them up. 3714, 2997, 100, 300. So 7111. So almost $1,000 ahead, more than $1,000 ahead of where I thought I would be. 7111. And then bills is going to take me a minute, but let's add all these up. 1792, 93, 50, 3, 15, 80, 16, 60, 43, 35, 60, 99, and 16. So 2362, so a little bit under on the bills. Realistically, this should have come in $130 higher because I had a Costco membership that I put into the wallet spend and it should have gone into the bills, but that's okay. So 2362. In the wallet spend, we'll have to come back to this because I need to total up all of the wallet spending for the week, and that's on another sheet. Stockpiles, I am taking that $700 into the next month. This is for FinCon. I will be at FinCon in Portland next week, so if you are there, let me know, and maybe we can connect. And then savings and extra debt, let's total all of this up. So we had 301, 423, 306, and 323. So 1,353 going toward savings and extra debt, which for me is just savings. Okay, and then 700 for stockpiles. So we'll come back to the wallet spend after we get to that sheet. So for now, let me set this aside. And we'll go to the next sheet that I need to work on, which is cash flow. I'm just going to tuck this under here. So cash flow, I already added up all of the inflows and all of the outflows. All I need to do here is to make sure that I balance, because this is more or less like a check register for me. So this is everything that's gone on in my checking account. So let's see here. So we started with 4505.32. We had inflows of $6,962.22 for a total of $11,467.54, and then we had withdrawals of $72,62.54, which leaves us with $4,205, which was exactly the ending balance on August 31st in my checking account. So that is a balance. So we're done here. Let's move on to the expense sheet. And I've already put in all of the expenses. I just need to add them up. So this week I had a trip to Metropolitan Market, which is a grocery store here in the Seattle area, about $41. A Costco weekly shop for $130. I had to go to Target and get some more household stuff. So I ran out of conditioner and shaving cream, and I needed a new shower curtain liner. So things like that. So that was about $44. Safeway, $2.36. I was out on a walk to Safeway, and I didn't have enough cash with me, so I had to get out the credit card. So that's what that was. Otherwise, I would have used cash. And then, excuse me, the weekly cash spent was $100 as usual. Even though I didn't spend all of that, I still record it as what I spent for the week, because everything that I don't spend now, I'm going to spend later on birthday gifts, Christmas gifts, holiday travel, something to that effect. Okay, so let's add all of this up, and then I'll put that back in the main sheet. So 41.41, 130.63, 44.62, $2.36, and 100 is $319.02. So let's go back to, let me stack this here, back to the main budget. Make sure I'm in frame, yep. So $319.02. So to that, we need to add $195.38, $346.33, $559.24. That was the week that got the Costco membership, and $171.63. So $1,591.60. $1,591.60. So realistically, had the Costco membership gone over here where it was supposed to, this would have come in under budget. But as it is, we're just a little bit over, and that's totally fine because it all washes out in the end, and I'm still going to come in way above where I thought I would be. So let's see how we finished. So at the start, with income, $7,111, and then from that, we'll subtract $23.62 for bills, $1,591.60 for wallet spend, $700 for stockpiles, and $1,353 for savings and extra debt. And that will give us a remainder of $1,111. $104.40. And that will roll forward into September. I will account for that separately in just a minute. But before I move on to September, I need to close out the rest of August. So now what I want to do is come over here to the month-end review, and I am going to pull this page out and put the other page back in, because this is now my reference sheet for August. So back to the front here. And this is why I love using a disk planner system, because I can just pop pages in and out real easy and real quick. Okay. So that is now back inside. So let's talk about the final numbers here. So 7111 and 2362, 1591.60, 700, and 1353. This was nothing, and remainder 1104.40. Okay, so to calculate the difference here, so this is a difference of $1,011. This was mostly due to a bonus and carryover from July. Total bills, let's see, difference, need to prop this up a little bit and not slide it off the edge of the table. $25.84, $23.62, $222 to the good. Or actually, we're behind, we're below by 222. Okay, this was over by 91.60. And then here we're over by 153. Okay, so this one I paid Dr. Bill, paid with health savings account. So the total difference here for the remainder, we had 1104, wait a minute, 1104.40, and we're subtracting 116, so 988.40. All right. Everything else is close enough that I'm not going to worry about noting why it was off. So what went well? I limited the number of expense transactions, so I didn't have to print out a second sheet despite it being a 5-week month. I stockpiled cash in advance of a big September spend, which is for FinCon, so I figure I need about $700 for incidentals. I've already got my hotel booked. I don't pay for hotels. I use travel points, and I've got my transportation booked, so this is just going to be meals, shopping, anything that I need while I'm there. And $700, honestly, is probably way more than I'll spend, but it's enough. And then I significantly increased my savings rate for the big move. Big part of that is because I fully funded my Roth IRA. So that freed up a whole bunch of extra cash to put toward the big move, which is my next big saving goal. What needs improvement? So I need to reduce my weekly cash allowance. And if you've been following me for a while, then you know that the reason for this is because I am now full-time work from home. So I do not need to be spending money on lunch out every day. I can meal prep better. I can plan my shopping better. So that reduces the amount of cash that I need each week. I'm also going to move Letterbucks to a separate fund. Again, there will be a video coming out about that on Saturday, so stay tuned for that. And then the big move savings rate must accelerate to reach the target. So I'm estimating $15,000 for the big move. That's to cover the move itself. It's to cover a deposit on a new place. It's to cover incidentals during the move. So around $15,000, irrespective of where I move. I've got a couple places in mind. It could be somewhere completely different. But in order to make that happen, I really need to sock away some serious cash. And I'm at the rate that I am now, and we'll talk about this in a moment, I am just not quite there yet. So, and then I also signed up for Instacart Plus and Costco, so I just need to remember next year that those memberships will renew, or to cancel them if they no longer fit my lifestyle. Okay, so that is it for August. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop this back in, and then I will move over to the September budget, and we'll start talking about all of the things that have happened so far in the budget for September. All right, let's talk about the September numbers. So far, I don't have any income. I get paid on the 15th and the last day of the month. So I don't have my first paycheck yet. That's not going to be for another couple of weeks. But I am going to note that I am going to carry over $1,100 from August. And that was actually not the plan. So I just put that in the wrong spot because I did not plan to carry anything over from August. So I'm going to wipe that out and we'll put in 1100 as the final number, not as the plan. Just get that line back in here. I used to use erasable pens to do my budget, like the Pilot Friction. Yeah, set something warm on top of it, erased all the numbers. So you can get it back. You can put it in the freezer and the ink will come back. But it was just kind of silly to have to stick my budget in the freezer. So now I just use a regular pen. All right, so rent came out at $1,792 as expected. Water, sewer, garbage was $88, so a little bit under budget there. Orca, I have not spent yet. This is my transit card. So I have enough on my transit card to get me through September, I think. So we're just gonna test this out and see if that's true or not. But for now, I'm not putting anything on there. iCloud came out, that was $3 as usual. Renter's insurance came out, $15 as expected. And that's it so far. So the next payment to draft will be Quantum, which is my internet provider, and that will come out on the day that you're seeing this. So that'll be in next week's budget. Wallet spend for the first week of September for my budget doesn't start until the 5th because, again, my budget weeks run from Friday through Thursday. So the week ending on the 4th was an August week. Stockpiles, I had planned on 300 for this week, and I actually put in 420. So if you watched Game Night and the Savings Challenge book video, then you will have known that already. This is more than I had planned, but I also had a carryover, so perfectly fine to do that. And in fact, I may put even more toward these stockpiles in the future. One other thing that you'll notice is that this used to be the savings and extra debt, but now it is a stockpile. So for me, the Roth IRA was savings because that's not money that I'm planning on spending anytime soon. The big move is a stockpile. So when I have enough, I will be spending that money. It's not savings that I'm putting away for a rainy day. It has a specific purpose. Speaking of savings and extra debt, I am planning on paying off the Affirm loan. This is, where is it on here? Right here. The 21st, $43 is due. I'm just so close on this that I would rather just have it gone and then I don't have to plan for it anymore. Also, because this drafts from my checking account, this bill has tripped me up multiple times in the monthly cash flow because I pay it and it doesn't come out until my checking account for 4 or 5 days. So it trips me up and then I don't balance and I have to go back and figure out why. So I'm just going to make that bill go away. And I have the money to do it because, again, I've got that carryover. Okay, so that is it for the budget overview for September. Cash allocation we already did. Everything going toward the big move. There's no other savings goals that I'm working on right now other than the big move. When we roll over into 2026, then the Roth IRA will come back. But for now, because 2025 is fully funded, my emergency fund is fully funded, my blip fund is fully funded, this is the only other goal on the horizon. The other thing that I note here is how much I am giving myself each week for card spending and cash. The card spending is for household, groceries, anything like that. Cash spending is kind of fun money, and whatever I don't spend on myself, I spend on others. So that is a double incentive to save the money, not spend it on myself, and so that I can spend it on other people. So that is it for that sheet. And now let's talk about cash flow. So I input all of the transactions already. There were quite a few of them. So rent, water, sewer, garbage, that came out on the 1st as expected. And then I had quite a few credit card payments here. I just made them because the cash was available. And, I try to keep my balances at zero. So often I will pay them twice a month now. I wasn't always that way. I was a once a month payer. But now I try to pay them every paycheck, especially if it's a small balance. I just make it go away. And then the big move, this was a transfer to Wealthfront for $420. That is where I keep all of my cash because it earns a pretty good interest rate. I'm at 4% right now, and that is money that I'm going to need in the near term, so I don't want to put it in an investment. Okay, so that's it for the cash flow tracker. I did note here my starting balance, which was the same as the ending balance from August, so hopefully when we get to the end of September, we will balance as well. Monthly expenses, we don't have any yet. Again, the next expense week starts today on the 5th is the day you're seeing this, so those will be populated next week. Month-end review, I don't have anything for. So let's move on to savings, and let's talk about that real quick. So this is the fully funded Roth IRA, but I've got a couple of other saving sheets that I'm working on. First, let's talk about the monetization tracker. This is my race to 1,000 subscribers. So I am working on this. We got through another hurdle this week, which was over 580. So I colored in another circle here, and I added $50 more to the savings account. So that balance now is up to $2,900. When this sheet is fully done, that will be $5,000 going toward the big move. If I don't finish it in time, that's okay. I will just take whatever's in here and put that toward the big move. But I will still work on this because I want to see it all the way filled out and get to that 1,000 subscriber milestone that means so much to all of us here on YouTube. Okay, so that's it for this one. And then the other one that I'm working on is the books. So this is from the Wednesday video and the Monday video. So Monday is when I play Savings Challenge games. Wednesday I do Savings Challenge books and have a little bit of story time about my history with money. And this week I put in $420. That will probably be about what I'm going to put in this next week, just because I want to get The Life of a Creator done. And then after that, I'll figure out what I'm going to do next. I have a couple of ideas. But then I've also got the sticker book for the Savings Challenge story time. So if you haven't been watching those videos, please go check them out. I'm having a lot of fun making them, and it's a great way to save money without sacrificing fun. Because there's other things that I used to do for fun. So I used to enjoy going to play bingo or go and hit the slot machines at one of the tribal casinos. And that's an expensive hobby. It is intermittently giving of money, right? Eventually you do win bingo or you finish up on the slots, but you lose obviously a lot more than you win. So this way I get to keep the fun in it, but it's all savings, it's all upside. So that is it for the weekly budget update. Like I say, tune in on Saturday for the Letterbucks video. I will give you a little bit of a spoiler since you stayed tuned this long, which is this will be the last Letterbucks video. So all of that cash I'm going to do something different with. Well, all the cash that's currently in Letterbucks I will be reallocating, and then I will stop that challenge and start something different. And as of right now, I'm not exactly sure what that's going to be, but I will have it figured out by the time that Saturday video drops. So come back and join me for that. I will be back on Monday for game night, Wednesday for the Savings Challenge books, and then next week's budget recap will be delayed because I'll be at FinCon. So that will probably come out on Sunday, which I think is the 14th, as opposed to when it usually comes out, which is on the Friday. So that is what's coming up next week. Again, if you are going to be in Portland for FinCon, please let me know, and maybe we can arrange to meet. I would love to meet some of you in person. And that's it for this week. So thank you again so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below so that I know you were here. Share with your friends. And until I see you in the next one, take care.